We are what? We are who? We are what? Vibrant. We are who? 50 plus. Hi, welcome to Gray Lives on the Rise. I am your host, Professor Jamila Franklin, and we are coming to you from Oyende Enterprises, being sponsored by Jamila Sense, which is our product line of aromatherapy products that helps heal the mind, body, and soul. And we are bringing to you Alamaj's rebirthing program, as well as Jamila Sense and a host of wonderful programs that will help heal your body, heal your soul, and heal your mind. 50 plus people, we are here to stay. Gray Lives on the Rise. We are what? We are who? We are vibrant, and we are here to stay. Join us for our wonderful episodes. Thank you, and continue to look for our episodes weekly, being brought to you again from Oyende Enterprises and Jamila Sense. See you soon. Greetings, everyone. Welcome again to another version of Gray Lives on the Rise. I am your host, Professor Jamila Franklin, and today we have the wonderful, incredible David Dinkins. Introduce you to Mr. David Dinkins. For more than 25 years, David Dinkins has been on a mission to help people at every stage of their career find opportunities that change their lives. As a senior technical recruiter specializing in IT, engineering, and executive opportunities, he's known for making the tough hires happen and for connecting seasoned professionals and C-suite executives with roles that allow them to grow and thrive. See, we need someone like this because you have all of these job boards like Indeed and Monster.com or whatever. And some of you are interested in going back into the workforce, and you're interested in really having people acknowledge you and know who you are as a seasoned professional. And those job boards are not going to make it, beloveds. Even LinkedIn now has become not that reputable. So you need someone like David because he knows who you are, and you're not going to be going down that bottomless pit. So David takes a consultation kind of role and collaborative approach to recruiting, focusing not just on filling positions, but on building long-term relationships with both candidates and clients, which is good. So you're not a number when you work with him. Over the years, he's developed a reputation for going above and beyond expectations, whether that means sourcing hard to find talent, guiding executives through career transitions, or creating talent pipelines that keep companies competitive. At his core, David is passionate about people, progress, and possibility, and he spent his career making sure that the right opportunities meet the right talent at the right time. So, and I've had the wonderful opportunity to meet with David. I've been very impressed. Thus, he's on our podcast. Welcome, David. Thanks so much for joining us. We are
Thanks for
so
inviting
pleased.
me.
Yeah, we're so pleased to have you. So, where do you hail from? Where's your place of origin?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. I was born in Washington, D.C., but primarily raised in Texas and Oklahoma. And I've been in Atlanta since 1986.
Oh, wow.
So I've traveled all over the place. So I guess the funny thing, the irony to that is I've been in Atlanta longer than I was ever in one place. So love it here.
Yeah. A lot of people come to Atlanta. I am one of them, and they say, "Oh, okay, I can just set up roots here." And then most people that I know are not originally from here, but have come here and they have found it to be a good fit. So we're happy that you're here. You predated me. You came 10 years before I came here. So yeah, yeah. So let's just jump right in. The people who are watching are 50 plus and some are younger. And some of them are mid-career people, some of them are still working, and some retired and are looking to go back into the workforce for different reasons. Some financial, some because of boredom, and some because they just want to try something different. So a
Hmm.
person who is seasoned, like myself, who would come to you, and I know for me, I sought your services and I have my own companies, and so I'm looking for something to supplement my income while my companies grow. But there are people who are looking, so I'm not looking for a solid career like that, but I'm looking for something that would be worth my time and not bagging groceries at Kroger. So, and some people have had to do that because, reality has changed. They are getting their Social Security checks and the checks are not enough. So when people come to you, like myself, who are seasoned, who are, but first category, people come to you who are looking for a second career. They've been seasoned, they've worked in corporate or in higher education, and they have transferable skills, but they are not sure what to do because they don't know what's out there now because the market has changed. And they come to you and say, look, I really would like to go back to work because I need the additional income, but ageism is real. It's very
Hmm.
real.
Yep.
So
Yep.
how would you counsel someone like that?
Well, first of all, it's like just like anything else, like I did when I was changing careers, is basically you do a talent assessment. It's like an intro conversation
Mm,
as to not only what are your skill sets that you bring to the market, but what do you enjoy doing, that sort of thing.
the question.
And
Yeah.
then how long are you looking to do that? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes which in what frame are you looking to do that? So like,
Mm-hmm.
are you looking to, some people want to go full time, other people just want to do something part time. And then are
Mm-hmm.
you looking to be on site, or do you prefer something remote or something like that? So it just depends. So that's where the conversation comes in at. And from the very beginning. And then, as with any job search, we do what's called a three-pronged approach. Any professional job search, whether it's a part-time, full-time, FTE, as we refer to them, you have a three-prong, which is your resume, your cover letter, and your LinkedIn profile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The basis is going to be your resume. It's the foundation. Okay. And then what's customizable within that is going to be your cover letter. I know a lot of people say they don't use them, but I use them all the time. And then the
Oh.
third thing is going to be your LinkedIn profile. And that's going to be, say, your billboard, as you would say, old school your billboards, as to where people are immediately going to go. Like, you send them your resume primarily, they're going to look at your resume and they might go immediately to your LinkedIn profile.
Mm.
And my whole thing on that one is, that's why one of the things, as we talked about before, I don't like to include LinkedIn links on a resume, because we're looking at a resume as something, as a marketing document, meaning that we want the traffic to come in to you first and foremost, so that basically you have the first right of refusal, so
Oh.
that you can educate them on you, as opposed to them gathering information off of, say, LinkedIn or anything else that doesn't speak for you, adequately speak
Mm.
for you.
Mm-hmm.
So even within the resume, there's a segmented. Like on a resume, a lot of times people put in their address at the top of the
Mm-hmm.
resume, and I said no, because we as recruiters do what's called recruiting in or recruiting out, and that's based
Mm.
upon the location of the end client. So I would rather have a conversation with someone and then say that's not a good match, as opposed to them not even calling,
Mm.
because they're making assumptions. Because a lot of people haven't even updated their resumes
Yeah.
before they begin another job search, and the location that you might have on your resume is totally invalid. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, okay. It might say that in Atlanta, say Ackworth is north of the city, far north of the city, and McDonough is like far east of the city. What is it, east or west? East. And we know what the traffic is like in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So the recruiter or hiring manager would just bypass your resume altogether because of the commute. So, and they might not even know you just moved to McDonough.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what
Yeah.
and the site is right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So most people are not gonna update their resumes all the time. So I just say bypass that and not even include it.
Yeah. That's interesting because a lot of people, when you and I were talking, I was like, wow. And I used to be the director of career advising years ago at Harvard Graduate School of Design. So I was learning a lot of information from you. And I also just was recently employed at an outplacement company that I'm not going to give them any free advertising. So, but what you're telling me, I never would have known. So do not include your LinkedIn link on the resume. Do not include your physical address on the resume. Do not include the city on the resume. Do you include your email address?
Yes. The only thing that you need at the top of your resume is how they're going to be able to contact you.
Hmm.
So identify who you are, first of all, your name, then
Hmm.
your phone number and your email address. That's all they need. Because
Okay.
all the other information they'll use to filter you out.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Because I know on my resume, because I hadn't been until recently seriously looking for anything to supplement my income, I had my website on there. I had my email address on there. And then I also had my LinkedIn address on there because I was told to put that on there by some people because they believed in the LinkedIn connection and having people have the access. So that's really important. So everyone, what David has said, only have your name, have don't include your city and your state, have your telephone number, and have your email address.
That's it. That's all that's needed.
Wow, wow, that's very interesting. So what are some other do's that people should do in terms, because a lot of times now you see these career fairs. I just went to one about over a month ago that Workforce Georgia had. They
Hmm.
had 1,300 people. They had to shut the thing down. People couldn't get inside. There were so many people that were inside, and it was supposed to have another one. And people are hungry because they're looking for jobs. And also, supposedly, and I want to get your take on this part, they were hiring people on the spot. Is that I wasn't I didn't get a chance to get in. Is that true? Do they actually hire people on the spot?
I would say this. I would say compare this to, do people win the lottery? Yes, someone wins the lottery, but that doesn't mean that you or I are going to win just because we bought a ticket.
True.
So yeah, they do hire people on the spot, but but see, also within that, even if you do get a hire on the spot, that's going to be conditional.
Oh,
So because they don't know anything about you.
yeah.
So that's like, oh, okay, you're hired or whatever. I don't even know why they would use that word hired. It's like because first we got to do a background check. We got to do all
Yeah.
these other checks. So how would I how can I issue a offer letter or hiring letter, on spot,
Yeah.
especially like if it's on the weekend?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, no,
This was on a
all that is
Thursday.
subject to. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
Subject
Yeah.
to. So don't go out and buy a new car. Don't don't go out and get all these new bills. It's like, no, it's like, okay, because how I can't count how many times people have sent out offer letters and acceptance letters for it to be rescinded.
Mm,
because they, say, okay, the amount is going to be this and da 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 da, and then, but that's conditional pending on your background check. And
mm-hmm.
my question has always been, why do you send it out there anyway?
Yeah.
Because if it's not done, if you haven't already done the background check and all the other information, it's like, oh, you're getting me all excited and everything, and it's like, no. So wait until, but a lot of times what people do when they do that, because they're competing with anything else you have on the table as far
Mm.
as offers and things like that, so that sort of freezes you in place. You get what
Uh,
I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like
It
if you
takes you
have
out of the
two,
market. It takes you out
there
of the
you
market.
go.
Yeah,
There
we're
you
looking for something
go.
else. And it puts you on hold. It's like you're
Yes.
standing in the window,
Hmm.
waiting for your significant other to come back with a candle in your hand. And
Yeah.
it's dripping. You're waiting. Is he coming? Is she coming?
That's
Like
why I
the
always
sound of the
say, like when the movie, like I told, we were talking the other day, like it's like the movie Glengarry Glen Ross, regarding Alec Baldwin and Jack Lemmon regarding ABC, Always Be Closing. Well, we adopted over here at Logic Careers, ABI, Always Be Interviewing, meaning
movie.
that even if you get an offer, keep interviewing. Even if you get, within, you go to the job, keep interviewing.
Oh,
It,
repeat
it,
those things. Oh, wow. Repeat that. Even if you get an offer, repeat both of those. I love
Keep interviewing. My whole thing, like ABI, always be interviewing. Is that even if you get an
that.
offer, keep interviewing. Okay. Even if you go in on the job on the probationary period, keep interviewing.
Hmm.
Okay. Because everybody has a 90-day probationary period.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then we have to look at it that you're not only interviewing them, them interviewing you, you're interviewing them. It
Yeah.
might not be a good fit for you.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, if you find something else within that period, you say, oh, this doesn't work for me. The time doesn't work, the environment doesn't work. After I got into it, I come to find out the career advancement isn't going to be on the timetable I'm looking for. So there's a myriad of things that you might not like about them.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole thing on that one is always be interviewing. And even if you get the job and get beyond the probationary period, uh, at least interview once a month,
Wow.
whether it's a
Okay.
phone interview or anything like that, because the issue is that uh, we out here are primarily, for the most part, everyone's their own contractor.
Yeah.
It's like, and I always tell people this, everybody's temporary. Some people just don't know their date.
Yeah.
So
It's true. It's
I'll
true.
just go like, and also what it does, it keeps your ear to the market,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there are a lot of times programs and things that you can get on your employer that increase your market value, such as a software package or something like that, or a course or whatever, that certification that will increase, add more value to your resume.
Mm.
So, they might have matching funds with with your current employer or something like that. If you don't know that, because you're in your little cubicle with your on, is like you have no
Linear
idea.
vision. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, tunnel
Wow.
vision. And so my whole thing is you have to look at it from that point of view, that you have to be what's called, we coin, a professional employee, which
Mm.
means that you know more about what you do than anybody else. You know more
Mm-hmm.
about your industry. You know
Mm-hmm.
about where the revenue is coming from in that industry. You
Mm.
know more about you read the news clippings or whatever, and I'm dating myself. Regarding the movement and the company, because most people don't know anything outside their department.
That's true. And a lot of
And
people don't even know what the company's vision is. That
there you go.
a mission
That's
statement.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I'm talking about. And
yeah,
my whole thing, you don't even know, has the company been doing, what was the quarter last year or last quarter look like? Did you
yeah.
do more business? Are you looking to, they might even have in the Wall Street Journal or something saying that they're looking to cut back. You have no idea because you just go to work and looking to get a check. Yeah.
It's
So
important.
yeah, you have to. I would say so. I'm being really. I'll just put it this way. Sometimes people think ignorance is best, and no. I always say putting your hand or your head in the ground only does one thing: leave your bottom exposed.
I like that. I like that. And this information is really important because the people in this demographic are 50 plus, and we're old school. Once you got a job, when we came out, right,
Hmm.
and looked for employment, that was it. You would retire in a position and you didn't have to seek anything else because you were loyal to the company or to the mission statement. That has all changed. So people who are 50 plus
Yeah.
now re-entering the job market. When I was working with this other company as an outplacement career transition coach, they had no clue. They said, Jamila, I've been in this job for 20 years, for 30 years. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to begin the search. So
Exactly.
yeah, talking to you, having you on the show, I think is so important because these tips, they were not relevant to us years ago because you didn't have to. It's to give you an example. People who had federal jobs, right?
Hmm.
Like get a government job, a federal job or a state job, because you will have benefits and you can retire. Ah, not today. Very different.
Well, that goes along with back in the day, there used to be an unspoken agreement between workers and management
Mm-hmm.
that as long as you do your job and keep showing up every day, and there's gonna be work there for you to do.
Right.
Uh, that's no longer valid. It hadn't been valid for decades, but a lot of people, they didn't get it and get the memo. And also it's like I said, always be interviewing so that you know when these changes occur.
Mm.
And oh yeah, what I was going to say about the government jobs, like even when just in this latest thing up until the beginning of this year, people were still holding government and state jobs as the holy grail.
Yes.
That yeah,
Yes. Very
because
true.
the private sector took the downturn first, so
Mm-hmm.
meaning IT and technology.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those people that were coming from those major tech companies were running to government jobs,
Mm-hmm.
even though because they were offering security that they
Right.
thought
Right.
instead of very high salaries. So that was another rude awakening. It's like, okay, like I just put it out there. Our sisters come in and the government laid 300,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of
Yeah.
that's a yeah. I don't know how you sweep that under the rug. That's
Yeah.
whew.
That's horrific. I mean, these people's lives have been permanently changed. They move and they're in the DC area where
Yeah.
they,
Hmm.
they 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 have a high rate now of foreclosures, a high rate now of evictions or whatever because they cannot pay their mortgages and their rents because of what has happened in this economy. And no one really saw it coming like this
No
because
one saw that coming.
yeah,
No.
this was like the safe place. You work at the post office, you get your government job. That's what everybody would tell people. Get a, they call them GS whatever jobs, and you're set for life. You have your pension. You won't get fired. None of that. And within a couple of months, that has really changed everything. And it's really sad. It's really unfortunate and tragic. But how that's another thing, because I was counseling people who had gotten laid off too, and they were loyal to the company because back in the day, when we were doing it, first entering the market. That was an asset. Being loyal to the company would treat you right, give you commissions, give you bonuses and whatever. But when this has happened to people, and I'm sure you've had clients like this, how do you get them back into the game? Because they're devastated, and ageism now is real. They were in those jobs for 20 to 30 years, and now they're re-entering the job market. Ageism is against them, and they were commanding high salaries, so that's against them. And self-esteem. I mean, those are three major things.
Well, the thing is on that, that's cutting into the bedrock of America.
Yeah.
Those are the people that were the ones that were the underlying of almost everything that we have as far as, and that was done intentional. I'm not going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
political, but that was done intentional.
Yeah.
And what you have to do is, first of all, you have to do an assessment. You have to
Mm,
go, what are you looking to do? What are your skill sets? And what are you thinking about doing? And you got to hopefully they're secure their financials, be it from the pension or be it from savings or something like that.
mm,
And then you want to go back and say, oh, okay, where are your skill sets being in the community? And
mm,
one more thing is that I've had a number of people come to me, and we thought to put them involved in more remote work. And I don't know if you've heard of this, but our whole thing is like America is not the only America in the world, meaning
mm,
American-like economy. Like I was connecting some professionals with Canadian employers that were
mm,
doing remote work.
mm,
So if people can do remote work that that are not situated in the U.S., well, U.S. workers can do remote work, then they're not in Canada, or they're not in Australia, or they're not in the
mm.
UK. Those are still Western countries.
So let me ask
So
this. Do you need a visa to work there? Because you're not physically living there, you're doing it remotely, but do you need a visa for that?
no, no.
Okay.
You're still here, but you're basically would be what's considered a 1099.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, but it one thing I'm noticing since I was a kid and now where we're at right now is that the world has become that much smaller
Yes. Very true.
and opportunities are across the borders. I was speaking with I was showing a resume for a guy doing some work out of Mexico the other day, and he's a remote worker for U.S. companies out of Mexico.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying? So
mm-hmm,
he's being paid in dollars, but his bills are in pesos.
mm. Okay. So he submits his bills to the Mexican company and the
He
U.S.
submits his bills to the American company.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You
Which
get
is,
what I'm saying? It's in the
yeah.
contract. Basically, they're not, they don't pay him in pesos. They pay him in dollars.
Okay. Because he's working for an American company, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There you
Okay.
go. You got it.
So,
And go ahead.
yeah, if you are working, do you have any instances where people are working for like the Mexican company and they're based here?
No.
Okay, so
No.
everything is US based, but they have positions in other countries.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
So it's similar to like when American companies hire in India
yeah.
or that sort of thing. There are a number of people I've ran into over the years that live in India and have never stepped foot in the US, but they still get paid in American dollars.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, because it's
So
American company hiring them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
there you go. And
Yeah.
that's becoming more and more common.
Wow. Yeah. I know people, I for one would be interested, very interested in something like that, because since the pandemic, a lot of people don't don't desire to go into an office, into a brick and mortar. They desire to work from home, and because they don't have to deal with the office politics, they don't have to deal with the travel, particularly in a place like Atlanta. Atlanta is one city, but it can take you an hour to go from one part from Lithonia up to Alpharetta because of the traffic.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
people desire to work remotely. And that's the next thing. Are remote jobs uh, plentiful now? And what is the trending market?
Well, there's short term and there's long term.
Mm-hmm.
There has been a reduction in the remote jobs. There has
Mm-hmm.
been. But the problem with that is because, the reason was primarily these companies have these long leases on these real estate holdings. So they need to
Okay.
have somebody at that cubicle.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But the long term is technology is marching on, and the reason for having brick and mortar is way gone. Way, it's passé. Uh, I remember I was with a company years ago, and they started to do the first remote. You know, the government has done. A lot of people didn't know that there are segments of the government where people never go into the office,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because they don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
But the old guard is still holding on to that because unfortunately, the brick and mortar is a lot sexier than having people on Zoom calls. And so,
Yeah.
and then also, I'm just being honest, is that a lot of times it's that I'm a Southern boy, and I'll put it out there. A lot of people say, behind and elbows. If they can't see you working, they don't trust that you're working.
Mm.
So I'm being
Well,
politically correct here, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. But there are people who don't. It's like I follow on Instagram this little pooch called Noodles, and she's so
Mhm.
incorrect politically, right? And they're doing these Zoom calls, and she places her little stuffed animal there, as her on the Zoom calls. Because people know how to get around that. They're cooking dinner, looking at television, whatever. But I tell people with those computers that they send to you, they're monitoring you, they're watching you,
Mhm.
and they can
Yes, they
tell,
are.
if you're not actively involved on. I mean, you can step away for a second, but they know it's
One
two
one
ways.
thing I have to tell people is that this is all new for us, for the majority of people. This is new. This is
Mm,
brand new. For you and I, we've had to go into the office the majority of our lives, whether
yeah.
it's working retail, we had to go to that location. Well, up until the last, say, 15 years, this remote stuff is brand new to the American folks, American
Mm.
population. So a lot of them, you don't know how to act. You don't know how to act. And and then the employer was like they'd never encountered this before, so they had to put a lot of trust in the people
Yeah.
that they hired that they were going to actually do the work. It was easier when you had them on site and you know
Mm-hmm.
that they weren't going to, she's not going to be in a cubicle watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to do that because she's at work. She's at
Mm-hmm.
work, so it's the work mindset. But if she's at home and her dog is over here, or a cat is over here, or you hear people crying in the background or whatever, uh, in her mindset, she's still at home,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody that knows her, they're calling her and asking her to go to run to Costco's or CVS, and I'm working.
Yes.
See,
Yes. Yes.
we haven't really separated that. So it's
Yes.
like, oh, okay, dad or mom or sister or brother, they're working. They
Yes.
can't just, but you're at home, I'm working. You
Yes.
get what I'm saying?
Yes, people have a hard time accepting that. But yeah, you're at home and you can do this. No,
Mm-mm,
I'm on the
mm-mm,
clock. I'm working. I'm
mm-hmm.
working. You know, I have the luxury of not spending time and gas going to a brick and mortar. But this is a job that I'm doing from
Yeah.
10 to 6 of whatever the hours may be. Yeah, yeah. This is really invaluable information. So what would you say to people? And I definitely want to let me get your information now. So as the time progresses, because we can get into some very detailed discussions, how can people get in touch with you?
They can reach out to us at a telephone number is 678-929-7391. Again, that's
Re-
six seven six
Repeat.
seven eight 929-7391. And our email address is ask, which is ask, at logic, which is spelled LOGIQ, careers.com. That's LOGIQ, careers.com. It's a play on words. So basically, ask at logiccareers.com.
Okay. And give them your name again.
My name is David, last name Dinkins, Dinkins.
Okay. Okay. And so when people contact you, they can, do you give them like a consultation call?
Yes, we have what's called our free resume review, which we offer to everyone. And it's basically you forward in your resume, and we'll set aside and plug you in as far as make an appointment, and we'll go over your resume for free to point out what's actually working in today's market as
Mhm.
to what you've been told, because there's what's called applicant tracking systems out there,
Yeah.
which is basically those systems are filtering, just similar to Google or anything else, but those are the
Mhm.
systems that hiring managers and recruiters use to filter through the hundreds and
Mhm.
thousands of resumes to find the right person with their skill sets.
Mhm.
And basically, you have to format your resume and arrange it in a way that basically the ATS systems can basically favor you and rank you higher so that the
Yeah.
hiring managers can look at you. That's,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick. So that's very that's very good. So once a person has a session with you in terms of the resume session, then you can take it further. And
Yes.
and you find employment for candidates too, is that correct?
Yes. That's one of our major things that we have above others. I'd say we're the best marketers, candidate marketers out there. And that
Okay.
basically we take what because it's basically we package you.
Hmm.
And via the resume, cover letter, LinkedIn, and then we sell you, basically market you to those that are interested or those that we find that's a good match for you. And so most companies don't do that. They're either recruiters and they let you, all that extra stuff is extra, or they're resume writers and they don't know anything about recruiting. So, and they don't do any marketing. And so we do both. And so we package you and we market you for the best opportunity.
Okay. And so do you have an increased number of people who are 50 plus?
Yes. Yeah. I don't even look at that number sometimes because if it's like a seasoned employee, they're
Hmm.
probably in that range. They're probably in that range. And people are staying on their jobs longer. So uh, there are people that are working until, 70s or until they let them go. Uh, and the irony about that is that, like, I had a guy came to me and he had like 30 years in quote unquote COBOL language.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't know what he was going to do because they were, primarily it's not being used. And
Hmm.
well, I had to steer him. I had to read. position him
Mm-hmm.
and tell him that basically he's the guy that would be working with those with quote unquote legacy systems.
Yeah. Well, one
And
second again. 1 second. So the guy had this experience and he didn't know how to package him, how to
yes,
market.
he was basically he was a 30-year worker with COBOL experience
Yeah.
and programming. And basically, I had to steer him in the way of legacy systems. And those
Mm.
are those systems that have been used since the 70s primarily.
Mhm, mhm.
And so what I steered him into, I had to reframe him and package him to say basically legacy systems are primarily anybody that does business with the government.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
all of those government contractors, subcontractors, those are the ones, and then he could also go up on his price because he's a rarity.
Mm.
So, yeah, most people only know how to work with graphic, GUI interfaces, graphic user interfaces. They don't know anything about actual getting down in the programming. You get
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying? They
Writing
don't
the
know anything
programs.
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't know anything about that. And then the government hasn't updated their systems in decades.
Mm.
So there are a lot. In fact, I would say after what we're going through right now, when we get past this, um, he's going to be really
Mm.
in demand because they're going to have to go back and redo a lot of stuff that's just sitting there right now
Mhm.
because they don't have the head count.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we haven't gotten to the point where we no longer need head count. That relay race hasn't taken place. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they're going to have to go back and rebuild that in order to continue the race. So
So AI is not an issue at this point.
it hasn't gotten that way. It hasn't gotten to that. It's there. It's
Mhm.
there,
Mhm.
but it would be almost like a pancake that's two-thirds cooked. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's
Mhm.
like it's there, but it's not in the point where we need it to be.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Because that's the talk that AI is going to replace a lot of human capital. And so for this particular person, ageism would not even be an issue because he has the
No,
skill
no.
set that they need.
The
So,
skill set over the age.
okay, okay. And also the non the loyalty is when people are older, they're committed to a task. They're not going to abandon the task. Yeah, this is so important, so valuable. And because of the market now, are you seeing an influx of people who are 50 plus seeking your services?
Yes. Yeah. Because as you pointed out earlier, they've never been here before.
Right.
They don't have an idea what the market looks like and what if there even if is a demand for what they're doing. So unfortunately, there have been some that haven't upgraded their skill set while they were on the job.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to pick up something new, something different, or do something different.
Mm-hmm.
But those that have, we haven't transitioned, totally. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to look harder and have to be more agile or malleable
Mm-hmm.
to what's out there. But I always tell people this, even though you get something in the interim, you have to look further down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always a short-term game and a long-term game.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have to upgrade your skill set for the
Mm-hmm.
market that we have. There's a variety of things like I notice people they're learning AI, quote unquote AI.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when ChatGPT first came out, I think it was 2022 around Thanksgiving, and they talked about prompt engineering as one of the things that would be something to put on your resume or a skill set or a certification, because there wasn't a certification back then because it just came out.
Right.
So basically prompt engineering is something is basically learning how to drive a car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, the AI is there, but it's only going to do what you tell it to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to become more adept and skillful in asking the right questions
Mm-hmm.
to get the right information.
Mm-hmm.
You get
Mm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You
So
have to
it's
know the correct prompts to use. And I've I've learned that recently how to get what I need to get, especially in terms of revisioning resumes and things like that. Well, I think, David, we have practically run out of time. What I would like for you to do at this point is to give us a takeaway. I know
okay.
there will be lots of people who will be interested in your services. So,
Okay.
what's the takeaway?
Several, well, I have several, but I would tell people that are on the job right now, take advantage of all the things that you have on that job. Basically, as far as the courses, the programs, the networks, take advantage of those because those are always something that you're going to, that would become, that would be valuable if you're no longer there for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Also, start to interview,
Mm-hmm.
start to look right now, have this conversation with either your significant other or someone in a group or whatever as to run a mock drill. Say if you were being let go from your company, what would you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if you haven't updated your resume, do so. Reach out to us or someone else and update your resume so that you don't have to redo that. And this is what I always tell people also, another one is that just like you have an insurance policy, you should have something set aside so that you can afford the best when that time comes, as
Mm-hmm.
far as a job reload or a job search fund of some sort,
Mm-hmm.
so that you don't have to scritch and and put pennies together for something that you always need to keep this updated.
Yeah.
So the days of there being that unspoken contract between the worker and management, those days are long gone.
Mm. Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. I think that you've given us invaluable information and tools because people 50 plus haven't had to think about this. And now you see people due to survival and because of what's been going on in this country, people who had secure jobs are being laid off. So, and they have to eat. So
Yeah.
people are now looking for employment that thought that they never had to in the past because they were assured that they will work on these jobs until retirement. If you can, if your company stays around for 5 years, it's now considered uh, a veteran company, a long-term company, because they're just going under. They're merging, they're going out of business. So getting in touch with you, David, someone with your expertise, because you have two things going. You do the practical thing with the resume writing and the interviewing and the LinkedIn telling people how to make themselves marketable. And then you match them with the jobs that are out there because those job boards, it's like throwing your resume into a bottomless pit. Usually they go
Mhm.
nowhere. And you're one of hundreds of people. I know on LinkedIn, when you apply for something, they would tell you, oh, 100 people have already applied or the position has closed. So LinkedIn now is becoming like, to me, like mustard.com or Indeed. It doesn't have that edge that it used to have. So, and there's so many scams out there. I know
Mhm.
of friends who personally were scammed. They were at the finishing line, and then something didn't feel right, and they found out it was later a scam. So in person or having to talk to someone like you, I think is really valuable because most of these companies now are chat only. You don't know if they're legitimate. They get your personal information, your social security number and whatever, and they've stolen your identity. So I'm cautioning people to be very, very careful.
One more thing on that. I'm glad you brought that up. That if someone reaches out via chat or via SMS regarding which is text, regarding a position, but they cannot arrange a phone call, shut them down. That's a
Mm-hmm.
scam. That's a
Mm-hmm.
scam because they're asking for your personal information, but they won't get on the phone call with you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that I've seen. They have a lot of those on LinkedIn, and then they ask you your salary range and your age. Those are questions that shouldn't even come up in an
No,
application. And but a lot
no,
of them have that. And I said, no, these are scams.
that's
So
a scam.
yeah, be
Because
very
another thing, I know we're almost out of time, but the thing is that you're bringing out that's so important is that they might get one bit of information on you, but then they might get another piece of information on you. So with say 2 or 3 pieces of information, they might be able to put that together. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, especially when they ask you for your address or your age, your birthday, and all that. All they have to do is just go in there and and dig into who you are, and uh,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden your identity has been stolen. So
There you go.
very careful. The old-fashioned way to me is still the most reliable. Being able to see someone in person or virtually. The other just chat, 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 chat. Be very careful. So, David,
Yeah.
thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's been our honor and pleasure. And for all of you, remember, Gray Lives on the Rise, Oyende Enterprises, OYINDE Enterprises.com. And get in touch with David. He has a wealth of information if because you need assistance. In today's day and time, definitely get in touch with someone like him. Okay. Thank you so much, David Dinkins. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Jamila.
We really appreciate you. So, everyone, tell everyone about Great Lives on the Rise. We're here every Sunday. Click like and subscribe. And until next time, namaste, beloveds. Take care. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Gray Lives on the Rise, being brought to you by Jamila Sense, which is the product line of Oyende Enterprises. Jamila Sense is a 100% natural aromatherapy line that heals the mind, body, and soul. This episode of Gray Lives on the Rise was intended to uplift you, to inspire you, and to motivate you. Please tell all of your friends, family members, and anyone you know who's 50 plus, who's living a vibrant life and interested in doing more and enjoying life even to its fullest. So thank you, and please subscribe, like, and comment on this video and all our videos. Thank you, and until next time, until our next podcast, namaste and be well.